that, a lot of black people, they identify with Trump. They can identify with him. Why? Because of our criminality? Because that's what we did in the past and we want to own up to the fact that that's what we did? In our neighborhoods, myself included, we sold dope. When are we going to wake up and realize that that was wrong? And people always go back to the 94 crime bill. I'm tired of people saying that because we went right along with it. You know how we did? Because we didn't do nothing about it. We didn't let our voice be known because all of us, including myself back in 93 and 94, said, what the hell I'm voting for? Why should I push these politicians? I don't want them folks up in my business. Why? Because we was involved in illegal activities, all of us. So we want the pardons for our people like Larry Hoover, and the rest of them. Yeah, sure, we'll line up for those pardons because we were involved in criminality. That's what we were doing in the streets instead of holding up the laws and policies which we had to learn. Because the laws and policies told us strict code, which was G code. And that's take care of your family, which is your organization and your family and your community and your neighborhood. That's what was in those laws and policies. Not this what we doing now. That's why these youngins out here wilding out in the street now. Because we left the streets. And then a lot of us stayed in the streets and still on that right now. When you 40 plus, when you 30 plus, how you gonna still post on a block? How you gonna still claim a land that you don't own in the first damn place? But that's what we do. So that's why we enamored with people like Felon 47, because he's a criminal. So we can identify with criminality. Is that where we want to be in 2026? Is that where we want to be? I damn sure don't want to be there, and I don't want my damn grandchildren to be there either. Because I want bigger and better things for them, as we all should. So while we all sitting on the porch waiting on the white man to pat our head and give us a pardon, we should own up to what we did to our communities, then try to help rebuild and reestablish these communities. That's exactly what we need to be doing. But time after time, we keep on falling for the okie doke. We keep on falling for that soap on the rope, that high dream of getting all our felonies off that we shouldn't have had in the first place. Yeah, we did what we did. But at the end of the day, stop holding on to those old dreams. Let's build something new for our children and our grandchildren and their children moving forward so we don't have to fall back on that. Because they've always said about us, either he sells drugs, he's in the NBA, he's in the NFL, or he won the lottery. That's the only way that they could ever get any money, those people. That's what they say behind our backs. You got to be some kind of entertainer because we're not smart enough to do anything else. Hell, if I thought that way today, think about how we thought back then when we didn't think we were anything because we weren't taught any better. People have to understand, man, it's a lot of pain that all of us have inside. But then we have to focus that pain and that anger and build up to something better and stronger so that our kids can see better. My daughter had it better than I did, which is what my mother, I had it better than she did, than her and my father did. So it's about building blocks and building up legacies, legacies of being successful. And it can be done without asking for help from people like Felon 47. We have to do it ourselves. There's enough black dollars floating around that we can build our own communities like we did in the past when they burned them down, like in places like Mississippi and Tulsa, Oklahoma, when they burned down our communities. But this time we won't let that happen. And the only way we do that is to unify in spending our money. And I ain't got to say you're going to be best friends with nobody. No. But if they got a business and somebody else got a business and it's the same thing, you more likely to go to the white business than you do the black business? Give me a break. Because if the black business is offering you the same services as them, I think you should give them a chance until they show you that they're not who they appear to be. That's what I believe that we should be doing all the time.